Hello basketball coaches and basketball players, my name is Alan from Al's Basketball Training, and today I'm going to talk to you about some fantastic screen and roll basketball plays that you can use against a 3-2 zone defense. If you're wondering why I'm wearing Shaq's jersey right now, it's because he said some very fantastic things about Kobe, and I don't have a Kobe jersey, so that might change soon, maybe? I don't know. Anyways, let's get down to the clipboard and let's check out these fantastic basketball plays. Okay, so as we can see, this is a 3-2 zone defense. Now, in a 3-2 zone, if you don't already know, I'll just go over it really quickly. Basically, you're guarding a zone and not an individual man. So, this is generally the zones that those players are playing. Now, some coaches will have those wing players go right down towards the baseline. Either way, this play is going to work. Now, what we're going to be starting with is player 5 setting a screen for player 1. Player 1 is going to use that screen, and player 1 is going to then dribble out towards that right side. At this time, player 5 is going to seal and roll towards the rim, and he's going to be cutting towards the rim at this point. And what we are trying to do here is trying to get player 5 the basketball. This way he can get up that quick mid-range shot or high post shot. Or he can take a couple of dribbles in and attack the rim if he's really strong. This can also lead to double teams in that low post or in that mid-key area. And if that's the case, then we have a couple of different options. So what we're going to be having is the possibility of player 2 and player 3 cutting towards that rim. And then if that is an option, then that's definitely a great way to go. However, another option is for player 5 to kick the ball out to player 2 for a 3-point shot. Now, a backup option to that is if player 3 was to come down and try and defend that shot, player 2 can make that extra pass out to player 4, and I would want player 5 to go towards that low post. Now, there's a reason behind that. The reason is we have now isolated 3 against 2. So player 4 could take that shot. Player 4 could also drive, draw up player 5 red, and drop the ball down to player 5 blue for an easy layup. There are so many different opportunities that you can have from this one simple play that can really change the course of your next game if you're playing up against a team that has a 3-2 zone defense. Now, this next play is a little bit more advanced, but I really like running this play. Now, what we're going to be having here is player 3. He is going to go and set a screen up for player 2, and player 1 is going to be dribbling out towards this side. This is going to draw a double team, and at this time we're going to have that screen. We're now going to be having player 1 continue off of that screen, and player 3 is going to be rolling towards the middle of the free throw line. We have now isolated player 4 red to defend 3 blue players. Or if you really want to think of it this way, we could go 3 against 2 if player 2 red is able to then recover back to player 1 in time. However, most likely, I would like personally to have player 1 pass to player 3 as fast as possible. The reason for that is player 3 can make that quick mid-range shot really quickly. Or if he was to drive towards the rim, or just in general have player 4 red pop up on him, player 4 blue can pop down. That's going to be an easy pass for an easy layup. Now, so far, all of these are extremely simple basketball plays, the last one being a little bit more advanced, but still very simple. This next play is going to be really, really advanced when it comes to, you might want to run this at the high school level. So let's get down to the clipboard. Let's check out this third basketball play. So I would want in this next play, player 1 to be dribbling up and collapsing that gap. The reason why I would want to see that is because I want to see player 1 passing to player 3. Now, the reason why that is beneficial is because this next thing that's going to happen. We're going to have player 2 leaking out towards this left side, and player 3 is going to have a couple of different options that may present themselves to him. So, after that entry pass into the high post, what could happen? We could have player 5 show and try and defend player 3 from that having that open shot, because player 3 could have that open shot. That is an option. If he's open, he can take it. If he thinks he can make it and he's confident, take it. But if player 5 red pops up, then player 3 blue can make a quick pass down for an easy layup. If player 3 red was to come down and recover, he can kick out to player 2 blue for a 3-point shot. The next option is if player 4 was to pop out, then we would have player 4 blue open for a layup. So now we've got 4 different options. Player 3 could take that shot. He could get the hockey assist by passing down to player 5 and out to player 2. He could also pass down to player 4 for a layup as well, or he could pass down to player 5 for a layup. Now, another option that could show itself is player 3 red could collapse on him, and he could kick it out to player 2 blue for a 3-point shot. There could be a recovery. There could be a couple of different things that happen there. He could pass to player 5 for a layup if player 5 red popped out, but that rarely happens. Usually player 2 would be open for the 3-point shot for that one. And then there's the next option. And the next option is we're going to have player 4 run up, set a screen for player 1. That's going to then bring player 4 red up with player 4 blue. And at this point, he's going to be covering player 4 rolling, and he may miss player 1 cutting baseline, because I wouldn't want player 1 just to cut straight down. We don't want this. That's not something we want. We want player 1 to cut down baseline and then across the baseline. That way we can get that alley-oop or maybe a straight line pass to player 1. And now we will have ourselves an open layup. So there's so many different opportunities with this play that I know you'll be able to score with this play as well. And of course, what is a 3-2 zone without going up against a 3-2 or 3-out 2-in basketball offense? It seems like all these zones would be covered, but let me show you really quickly. I want to see player 2 cut across the key, across the free throw line, and set a screen on player 2 red, which is the player in this zone here, who is defending player 3 blue. That's going to be tightening player 3 red up, closer towards the imaginary center line. What we're going to be having here now is player 3. He is going to be using that screen, setting that screen on player 1 red. Player 1 blue is going to use that screen. Meanwhile, we would have had player 2 leak out towards that far corner. After we have player 1 using that screen, we're going to be having player 3 roll towards the basket, and now player 1 has a couple of different options. He has 2 players who have great options to score, because what we're going to be seeing here is player 2 being bled up towards player 1 to guard him. Now player 1 could easily pass out to player 2 blue for a 3-point shot. That is an option, but we also have player 3 open in the middle of the key, and now he can do a lot of damage from down there. So he could obviously shoot. That is one option. He could pass out to player 2, which is another option. Player 2 is going to be probably our primary option if player 3 cannot hit that easy mid-range shot. Our next option is if player 4 does pop out to defend player 3 or player 5 or both, one or the other, then those 2 players or one of those 2 players may be open down in the low post where we can get some easy layups. I hope that these plays help your team win more games. If they do, let us know in the comments section below. I would love to hear from you, and I will see you guys again later on today for the second video of the day.